What's going on, YouTube? I'm Logan, and welcome back to the Rise and Vape Show. It's actually Sunday. We've made it back to Sunday. We were a little off track for a little while, and you know what? That's okay. That's okay. It's okay to be a little off track. We're back on track now. My cat's in the background going crazy. I'm sorry there's a little buzz from the heater. It's been extremely cold out in Western New York. We've been getting a lot of cold from the polar vortex that we've been dealing with and going through. Not nearly as much snow as they told us we were going to get. You know, they told us that we could get up to 2 feet. We ended up getting like 5 to 6 inches, I would say. I could be wrong, but that's what it seems like to me. It doesn't seem like much more than that. But we've been dealing with it, and it's been kind of terrible, but it's okay. That's what we get for living in New York. Any other New Yorkers out there, I'm sure you guys understand. But yeah, finally made it back to Sunday, and it feels good to just sit down, relax, shoot some video, hang out with you guys, and talk about vaping. I've got some kind of cool stuff, some kind of new stuff today. We will have a tasting segment, but it's not going to be in the traditional juice in a mod segment. I've got some disposable e-cigs that I want to talk about and try out and see if that's something that I would recommend, maybe to a new vapor, somebody trying to quit cigarettes. And I do want to go over things like that, you know, in the future. Little disposable e-cigs or whatever comes my way, whatever I find that could be a very good, viable option for people trying to quit smoking cigarettes. I feel like sometimes we get lost in the new mods, the new tanks, the new RDAs that are coming out, and as vapors we're like, yeah, let me see the build deck, you know, and like all this stuff, and sometimes we kind of forget about the really simple, easy to use things that are going to get adults to quit smoking. And so it's something that I definitely don't want to, you know, have that get lost in any way. So I'm definitely going to be covering those. They are from FOGG, F-O-G-G, and it's watermelon, I believe. I'm a big fan of watermelon, so that's what I picked out to try. So yeah, we'll get Becky in here later on, and we'll go through that with those. But yeah, guys, always remember, vaping is, 1, a 95% safer alternative to smoking. 2, has been proven to be more effective. We're like 3 minutes into this. More effective than gums and patches for quitting. And yeah, so, you know, vaping is something for people like you and me, or mostly people like you and me. If you are a new vapor or an ex-smoker here, or a current smoker trying to quit, this still applies to you, but to a lot of us, vaping has just replaced smoking. I don't plan on quitting vaping anytime soon. It's something I find extremely enjoyable. I love building, I love re-wicking, I love trying new juices, new devices, and yeah, I love vaping, and just as much as I used to love smoking. I'm not somebody who plans on quitting vaping, but I have a 95% safer alternative to use than smoking. There are people out there, and the people out there who use vaping to successfully quit smoking and then stop vaping, ultimately that is the real goal here, is to get people away from anything completely and to use this as a tool to do so, to regulate your nicotine intake, to keep you from going back to cigarettes. But there are a lot of us out there who probably don't plan on quitting vaping. I'm 100% sure that there are others than just me. So for people like us, at least we have this option. But it's easy for people like us to sometimes kind of forget, you know, that these products are coming out to help smokers get off smoking and make it as easy as possible for them to transition. And there's a lot of people out there that are like, oh, pods are stupid. Oh, why do we have these disposable devices? Well, it's because it's easy. It's simple, it's easy, and it might be somebody's best bet to get off smoking. So if you're a keyboard warrior and you're out there bashing pod systems and disposables, I gotta ask you to please stop. Please stop, because those are the devices that may help save somebody's life. And those people, if they do quit smoking and they have this device and then they say, you know what, I'm ready to take the next step into vaping. Well, come on over. Come on. If you're using a disposable, we'll hook you up with a pod. Let's talk about some pods. Oh, you're using a pod, you want to take the next step. Let's talk about some affordable sub-ohm kit. Take your next step. Up towards maybe eventually you'll be like us, making your own coils, building your own RDAs, re-wicking them, and just chasing clouds for days. So that's my message to you guys today, is if you're out there bashing pod systems and you're bashing disposables and things like that because you're like, oh, these are stupid, why don't you just go buy a hammer of God and a 30 millimeter RDA and just clouds, bro. Cool it, man. Chill out here, okay? Either way, let's get into what I've been vaping for the past week or so. I've got well, man down. I've still got that Tesla Invader 3. And I've got this wonderful rainbow Dead Rabbit SQ sitting on top with that crazy green drip tip. This is my favorite matchy RDA in the arsenal, so sometimes I break it out. It's also the only other 22 millimeter RDA that I have other than the Amit, and the Invader is a 22 millimeter beast. And I've got it loaded up with some Stunna liquid gold. Stunna. This juice. This juice might become like a lifelong juice for me. It's a mango watermelon apricot, and wow. This is a damn good vape. I've gone through like 4 of these 30 ml bottles since I've been using liquid gold, and I keep ordering more. I'm just gonna have to order just like 3 60 ml bottles. I'm just gonna have to, because it's fantastic. I love it. I've got this new LMC Redemption kit, 80 watt mod LMC Limitless Mod Co. just came out with that Hextron. It comes with a Hextron sub-ohm tank, and the Hextron sub-ohm tank is a little bit dated, and they kind of just threw this kit together. I'm gonna have a review up for it probably tomorrow. Yeah. I know that Limitless Mod Co. is under new management now. I know that it's not the original team that used to be Limitless Mod Co. They've kept the same name though. And if this is the quality of product that Limitless Mod Co. is going to be putting out now, I don't know. I'm not really sure how I feel about it. Got some issues with this. Hear that button? That's moving it back and forth. Real loose button. But you'll see more in the review. I had a number of other issues with this. But yeah, I've got that loaded up with some Vape City juice, some Berry 8. It's a strawberry lemonade. This was one that we tried a while back in one of our juice reviews. I set it to the side after that because I was like, you know, if I really want a strawberry lemonade, I'm probably just going to vape on Primal Elixir Learn because it's so good. And then when I got this, I don't have a lot of Primal Elixir Learn left, so I didn't want to waste it just filling up a sub-tank that I might not like. So I went with that, and it's been okay. You know, these coils have that 2016 overabundance of cotton, so you kind of always taste cotton coils, if you know what I mean. It's crazy how far sub-ohm tanks have come. It does an okay job. The flavor is, like I said, you always get that, at least with any sub-ohm tank, I always get that kind of dry mouth feeling. Still, this is the, let's fill it up. This will be the 4th tank I've ran through this on this coil that it comes with. It does come with another. There's definitely some pros to it, though, along the way, and some kind of subjective pros and cons along the way. But all in all, as a little kit, as a little starter kit for somebody who is just picking up, you know, an 80 watt single 18650 kind of small, sleek device. If this works for you, great. I just think there are better things on the market right now than this. So Limitless, if this right here is kind of your stepping stone and getting whatever it is you're doing back on track, you guys got some things to look at. Okay? You guys got some things to look at. Either way, guys, watch the full review. I should have it up tomorrow. And I've still got my little buddy. I mean, months on end now, I've been rocking this Vaporessa Nexus. It's still super affordable online, so if you're looking for a little all-in-one device, I'm still looking for something to dethrone this. Okay, guys, I'm waiting on some comments from you guys. Tell me what you think. What do you think is going to dethrone the Vaporessa Nexus? Yeah, that's all I've really got for what I've been vaping on. I tend to not have too many things set up at once. I'm somebody that once I get to like 3-4 setups, I start like tearing stuff back down, cleaning it out, and switching up what I've got going on. But yeah, this has been with me literally, I think the day that I shot that last video where I had the Amit on top. Later on that night, I set up the Rabbit on it, and I've just been loving that. Ooh, probably right around 4.8, 4.9 volts. Again, sometimes with the Tesla 3, it's a bit of a guessing game. Just kind of going off of Bogan's ratings on it, but somewhere right around, we're close to 5 volts. And it's just been a great vape. So I'm really excited for this this little FOGG disposable kit. So what do you say? You guys ready for a weekly juice-ish review? Can you scoot like a centimeter? Okay.
Perfect.
Right on. Becky, everyone.
Hi.
All enjoy with us here on the Rise and Vape Show for juice reviews and stuff like that. This week we don't really have like a traditional juice review, like you know, fill a tank or drip or squonk on kind of juice. We've got a disposable e-cigarette here today. These are FOGGs. Okay, I picked these up from Element Vape. I found them a few other places on the internet for $15-18 for a 3-pack. They say you get approximately 300 puffs on it. You get 3 of these per pack. They come in a number of flavors. They have tobacco flavors. This is the watermelon. They've got a berry, like a berry flavor as well. These are 5% nicotine. I'm assuming it's a nicotine salt. It doesn't say anywhere on here that it's a nic salt. I'm assuming it's a 50 milligram nic salt, being 5%. Yeah. You excited for these?
Yeah.
Secret Sauce Sweet Watermelon. You can find these, I guess, on foggvape.com. Oh, you get boxes inside boxes.
Inception.
Yeah.
Oh, do I get my own?
Do you want your own? It comes with 3. I figured we would open one and try one, and then if you wanted your own, you could just...
Okay.
If you want to open that one up, I'll show off the box here.
Comes in a bag. Box in a box in a bag. Bag in a box in a box.
A bag in a box and a bag in a box. What?
Bag in a box in a box.
A bag in a box in a box. Yeah, there you go. There's your FOGG. There's your lovely warning on the front. These are the little boxes. 21 and over, underage sale prohibited. Nice job, FOGG, with that big and bold. Keep it out of the kids' hands. But here you go. There's your FOGG. You want to show them with that?
Bag in a box.
In a box. Well sealed. There's a little diagram down here. I don't know if you guys saw that or not. You know, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Focus for me, would you? You see the frustration I deal with daily. There you go. There's your diagram. You know, pull one out, pop it open. I guess there's a tab you have to peel off, and then you're free to vape.
I can already smell it without taking off these tabs.
I can smell it too. You want to show them what the tabs look like on those?
There's the upper.
A tab at the mouthpiece. Little silicone.
There's one at the bottom.
And I'm assuming that's where the draw activation is. These are draw activated. There's no buttons. I'm sorry that this is kind of dark this time around, guys. I'm trying to work with lighting that I don't have. if that makes sense.
I'm really tan.
I'm also wearing a black shirt.
And
black
Logan's
hat.
very pasty right now.
Yeah, she's super tan, but she fake bakes, so there's a little light there. It's not too bad of a light. It like popped on you. To scare you. I can smell the watermelon in it.
It's not bad. It just tastes like a basic watermelon.
Very
disposable.
Throaty.
Very throaty.
It's not bad. It's not bad. It's super sleek. The light isn't like too obtrusive on it. There's your FOGG. It's got kind of these little cutouts where the logo is. Secret sauce on the bottom. Then it says watermelon, big and bold. There's your mouthpiece right there. The draw is fairly tight on it. I don't know if we're going to be able to see the bottom. That might be as good as I can get it to focus, guys. I'm sorry. That black on black with that light that I've got here is rough, but it's got your little CE warning, and then one tiny little dot for draw activation. It's got kind of a texture here as well. I don't know. It doesn't. I guess it kind of makes it a little more grippy than like the rest of the device. Is this a device for an advanced vapor? Probably not.
You enjoy the pod systems, so I feel like you would enjoy this more than I would because I'm not a pod system type of gal.
See, I like the pod systems for convenience and for like public use, I guess a lot of times. Like there's a lot of places that we'll go where I don't really want to just blow big clouds just out of respect for non-smokers and non-vapors and other people around. And sometimes it's nice to have a little device that just slides into your pocket that doesn't look so, I don't want to use the word obnoxious, but I think that kind of applies sometimes. I could see this being a nice little device to help smokers quit. The flavor's decent on it. I definitely get that watermelon. It's a sweet kind of candy-ish watermelon. And yeah, for a 3-pack for like $15, you figure cigarettes are what now, like a pack for $10, $12.
If you get a pack of Newports, it's at least $10 a pack in New York.
Right. So up here, that obviously changes anywhere else, but you know, you get 3 of these, you're gonna get 900 puffs for $15. It's got, you know, basically close to the equivalent in nicotine that like a Juul has. Do I think it's a viable option? Do I think it's a viable option? Absolutely. I think if you're somebody interested in maybe trying vaping to see if it might work for you to quit smoking, are these little FOGGs an option? Sure.
I agree.
You know, it's not about the vapor here. It's about the nicotine and the convenience and the size. I think, you know, a lot of people out there who maybe think, yeah, I might give vaping a try, but I don't want to carry around these mods, these devices, these bottles of juice. Like, this looks just so much more complicated than having a little pack of cigarettes that, you know, once I smoke a few of them, I can slide my lighter into, and then all I have to carry is this box. Well, this is a lot smaller than that. It's a lot safer for you than smoking, and it's pretty affordable. So yeah, I think if you're out there and you're considering quitting,
it's a good option.
It's a very viable option. We'll see next week, next week's episode, if I'm still using it at all, and maybe how long one of these really lasts. So we'll kind of check back in on it next week. I think that's something I'm going to do with any kind of disposable thing that we do in the future, is just kind of a recap on it. Maybe next week, just kind of revisit it and see how long they lasted me, if it was something I kept using or not. But right now, I think this is gonna go to Target with us, at least with me, anyways. I don't know if I want to put a flavor rating on it like we do with juice reviews. Let's just do a
device review.
Let's do how do I want to word this? A quit smoking tool review.
Okay.
Like, is this maybe we'll reword that. I'm going to revisit this idea, but maybe with these like disposable pod devices and stuff like that, we'll come up with our own kind of review scheme, kind of around the idea of like, is this a viable option? Does it work well? We'll improve on that, but right now I think we'll just kind of run with a 1 through 5. Do you think this is a good viable option for people to pick up if they're interested in quitting smoking? Thinking of things like the size, functionality, price point, how many you get, things like that. What do you think, just off the top of your head, 1 through 5? What do you want to give the FOGG?
I would give it a solid 3.5.
All right, 3.5, based on
the affordability is great. I'm not sure how accessible it is right now because I'm not sure if you can find it out in like gas stations or 7-Elevens.
Probably not. I haven't seen this anywhere in any
Hopefully
retail
one day
shop.
it'll get out there. The flavor's not bad. The hit's not bad. Like you said, it's a little throaty.
Yeah, you're gonna find that even in the upward milligram nic salts, you're still gonna find some throatiness to it. But it's
and you
not
gotta
gonna
remember, I'm not used to that. I vape on 6 milligrams of nicotine.
freebase.
Freebase. So.
And you're gonna find that the nic salts though they smooth it out. If you were to vape 50 milligram freebase, it would burn, like it would burn. There are people out there that do it. There are people out there that love it, but it's way too much for me. But in the nic salt, in a small device like this, I think
it's not bad.
I think it's good.
Yeah.
I can feel the nicotine. Like I honestly yeah, I don't need to vape right now, like at all, because that thing is pumped 50 milligrams, hit after hit into me, and I'm good right now. I feel good. I feel sated, I suppose. Like if I needed, to quench my nicotine thirst, then pulling this out and puffing on that a few times is definitely going to do it.
The way to go.
Definitely going to do it. So, thanks, guys. This has been a different kind of review for the weekly show, but it kind of ties in, and maybe we'll throw these in kind of with the mix with the juices. So, cool. Hopefully that's cool.
Cool.
All right, guys. I'm Logan.
I'm Becky.
This has been the Rise and Vape Show disposable pod review. All right, let's talk about some advocacy and news. This is an article that has been going around Twitter and Facebook and social media and all that stuff all week long, and I figured what a great opportunity to sit down and talk about it and kind of relay it back to something that I've talked about in the past. But as a little backstory to why this is so important, anti-vaping advocates have for too long been able to say there is no evidence saying that vaping is a successful smoking cessation tool. There's no evidence saying that it beats patches or gum. Well, now you're all wrong. Thanks to the New England Journal of Medicine and their latest trial and study, this article is titled "A Randomized Trial of E-Cigarettes versus Nicotine Replacement," and the list of doctors and scientists that were involved. Let's see, the background of this study, as they say, is e-cigarettes are commonly used in attempts to stop smoking, but evidence is limited regarding their effectiveness as compared with that of nicotine products approved as smoking cessation treatments. We're talking about nicotine inhalers, nicotine gum, nicotine patches, anything like that that has been approved by the FDA as a smoking cessation tool. We're studying whether or not vapor products, this or this or this guy, any of these things that are not approved by the FDA, are these more effective than those that are? Their methods, they go on to say, we randomly assigned adults attending the UK National Health Service Stop Smoking Services to either nicotine replacement products of their choice, including product combinations, so they were allowed to use like patches and gum, something like that, provided for up to 3 months, or an e-cigarette starter pack, a second generation refillable e-cigarette with 1 bottle of nicotine e-liquid, 18 milligrams per milliliter, with a recommendation to purchase further e-liquids of the flavor and strength of their choice. And I think that's a really important sentence here as we we're dealing with the flavor bans and things that are going around. This study, these doctors recommended to these participants to further purchase e-liquids of the flavor and strength of their choice. That goes back into why flavors are important, and we also go right back into is, higher milligram okay? What should I be vaping on? It's your choice, whatever you find to be the most effective solution to smoking. Treatment included weekly behavioral support for at least 4 weeks. The primary outcome was sustained abstinence for 1 year, which was validated biochemically at the final visit. Participants who were lost to follow-up or did not provide biochemical validation were considered not to be abstinent. Secondary outcomes included participant-reported treatment usage and respiratory systems. Results. A total of 886 participants underwent randomization. The 1-year abstinence rate was 18% in the e-cigarette group as compared with 9.9% in the nicotine replacement group. All participants with 1-year abstinence, those in the e-cigarette group, were more likely than those in the nicotine replacement group to use their assigned product at 52 weeks. That was 80%, 63 of 79 participants, versus 9%, 4 of the 44 participants. Overall, throat or mouth irritation was reported more frequently in the e-cigarette group, and nausea frequently in the nicotine replacement group. The e-cigarette group reported greater declines in the incidence of cough and phlegm production from baseline to 52 weeks than the nicotine replacement group, and there were no significant between-group differences in the incidence of wheezing or shortness of breath. I think the things that we need to take away from this are that throat and mouth irritation was reported more frequently in the e-cigarette group. You are inhaling a substance, so your throat, your mouth. I know me personally, I get kind of dry mouth sometimes if I'm vaping too much and I'm not, drinking any water or having a drink. I think that just kind of comes from breathing in an aerosol or a vapor. The nicotine replacement group reported more cases of nausea, made them want to throw up. The e-cigarette group reported greater declines in the incidence of cough and phlegm. I can attest to that. When I was a smoker, I would wake up every day hacking and coughing up black, brown mucus, just, the crap from inside your lungs. Within the first month of me vaping and quitting smoking, that was gone. I woke up, I could breathe. I wasn't hacking stuff up every day. It was gone. So that's definitely something that I can directly relate to. I've never really had bad throat or mouth irritations, except for when I first started vaping. I got that, but I was also using 18 milligram, which they use. That's what I started at, and I'm now down to 6. And I've alleviated a lot of that. I think that 18 milligram freebase for some people is great. For other people, it's a little bit harsher, and I think maybe some of those reports came from that directly. Conclusions. E-cigarettes were more effective for smoking cessation than nicotine replacement therapy when both products were accompanied by behavioral support. That's their conclusion. They flat out say e-cigarettes were more effective for smoking cessation with behavioral support. Now, when I think of behavioral support, I could be wrong. This is just my interpretation. I'm sure that these people saw professionals and counselors and people who are trained to deal with nicotine replacement and smoking, and quitting smoking. But to me, behavioral support can come from a lot of places. And this kind of ties back into one of our earlier episodes where we talked about peer involvement. Behavioral support for me, when I first started vaping, because nobody that I knew was going to my local vape shop and talking to these guys and, saying this is how I feel, this is, and getting that positive encouragement from them, hearing their stories, what they used when they started. All of that for me was my behavioral support. That was my encouragement. That was my real world experience. And I think for a lot of people that can come from a number of places. That could be, your friends or your family that have encouraged you to stop smoking and start vaping. And I think that behavioral support element can come from more than just a professional. You know, I think that's where peer involvement can get involved, because we can all kind of be behavioral support for each other. I'm a gamer. I game quite often, and well, as much as I can now, you know. But my background as far as content creation was video game streaming, and you know, I met tons and tons of great people. One of which, Tough Nux. Carl, he's a great guy. He's the guy that designed the logo and the disclaimer for the Rise and Vape show. He's done a lot of great work for me. He's just a fantastic guy. So if you guys are on Instagram, give him a follow, at Tough Nux. I'll drop it right here for you. I love you, Carl. You're such a good guy, and thank you for everything that you've done for me and for the Rise and Vape show. That's completely beside the point. I just love the guy so much. But we'll get back to meeting people through gaming. And a lot of times, you know, I'll hop in a game and I'll hop into matchmaking or something like that, and I've got somebody coming through on my microphone, somebody that I don't know, and I'll hear that all too famous, and I'm like, yo, dude, what are you vaping on? And a lot of people that I've met, you know, oh, I got this little sub-ohm tank from such and such, and this, that, and the other, and, you know, I just quit smoking a few months ago, and I've been noticing it more and more and more. And those are all positive, great things. Getting back on track. This way, Logan. Getting back on track to what I was saying. I met a guy a while back playing video games who had just started vaping, trying to quit smoking. He was doing really, really good. Ran out of e-liquid and has since just started smoking again. And he talked to me. He was like, yeah, I really enjoyed, vaping, and I would really like to keep vaping. I'm just out of liquid. It's expensive at, you know, the vape shops, and I gotta order it online. I haven't been able to order it online. That's gonna be a problem for him if this HR 293 bill goes into place, which is going to ban online sales and ban flavored e-liquids. You got somebody who, a testimony basically to me, said, when I can't get my flavored e-liquids, I go back to smoking. And I was heartbroken. I was like, fuck, dude, can I send you some? Like, what can I do? Can I help in any way to get you those liquids so you can stop smoking? So you can stop poisoning your body? And he was really, he was humble about my concern. But I was honestly, genuinely concerned, and I don't think it's right that this guy couldn't afford these products, and they're just going to get taxed even heavier, and couldn't afford them, had no means of getting them quickly, and just went right back to smoking. That's a shame. So we're definitely going to try to help my buddy out here soon. I've got some liquid around that I think I'm going to try to send to him. But that's also subjective, because if he doesn't like the liquid that I send him, there's a chance that he's just going to keep on smoking. And it breaks my heart. You know what I mean? Like, there's somebody who was on the right path, who was getting off of cigarettes, who was using vapor products as a smoking cessation tool effectively. But when his means of obtaining more e-liquid at a reasonable price and quick enough, he just went right back to smoking. I think that we can do better. I don't think we should have these heavy taxes on vapor products, because as a testament to him right there, at that point, a pack of cigarettes is cheaper. And he's got to get his nicotine. That's the thing for him. He has to have that nicotine. Bought a pack of cigarettes. It's a goddamn shame. What can you do about it? What can I do about it? Well, one of the things that you can do about it is to go join CASAA. Can't talk about it enough. Go join CASAA, CASAA.org. Help them fight the good fight, and you get out there and fight the good fight. So people like my friend don't just have to resort back to smoking a cigarette with the thousands of chemicals and carcinogens that are in them that is inevitably going to cause him and his body harm, when there's a product out that is 95% safer for him. We just need to make it more available and cheaper. That's the right course of action. More availability to adults, obviously limiting availability to kids, but not putting all these heavy taxes on these products that are saving these adults. the FDA and the government is literally trying to force your hand to buy cigarettes. Even if you right now are on the course and you've been smoke-free for X amount of time, if these things all go through, you and me and our friends who are doing so well are at risk to simply revert back to smoking. Even though we have the proof now saying that it's more effective than any other NRT. I don't know, guys. That's my plug for advocacy this week. I was super pumped to do this and talk about this, and then last night, I was on the Xbox, and I was gaming away, and I got talking to my buddy, and I said, hey man, what are you vaping on tonight? And he's like, Newport. It just broke my heart, man. The guy's got kids, he's a family man, he's a hard-working guy, and it's just so backwards. This is super bummer. Super bummer. I apologize, guys. It really bothers me. Like, it gets down into my core when I hear stories like that, and I just want to like reach out and be like, here, take this, please, like, try again. Like, just, do you want to try something else? Maybe gum and patches would work for you. I'm not only advocating for vaping, I advocate to stop smoking. And I understand for a lot of people out there, vapor products aren't going to work. They might not work. Maybe gum for Joe Schmo is the right answer. And I think that's another thing that we as vapors still need to keep in mind, that even though vaping has proved to be more effective, there are still people out there that this will not work for. Maybe it's a psychological thing and the vapor reminds them too much of smoke. For a lot of us vapors, tobacco flavors, which the FDA has said, yeah, we want to give you guys just tobacco flavors. That doesn't work. It reminds us too much of a cigarette, the thing that we're trying to get away from. So these products don't always work for people. Is it worth a try? Absolutely. 100% it's worth a try. But it might not work for you. Maybe gum or patches work for you. As vapors, as vaping advocates, in Facebook groups and on Twitter and even Instagram sometimes, I hear people, bash the gum, bash the patches. I get it. FDA, big tobacco, big pharma, they're the enemy. I understand. Trust me, 100% I understand. But isn't the ultimate goal for all of us and for everybody that we know who smokes to help them get away from cigarettes, from combustible tobacco? Is that not the end goal? And I fully support, calling out the FDA on their bullshit. I fully support calling out big tobacco and big pharma on their bullshit. But what I don't support is when somebody is trying to quit smoking and they've chosen to use patches or gum, if they're having success with that, I don't support bashing that choice in any way. If you are quitting smoking by using a patch and it's been successful for you and it helps you get away from traditional combustible tobacco, please continue what you're doing. If it's working, do it. Don't discount vaping products because it may work for you. This is a viable smoking cessation tool. That's really all I've got for the news and advocacy, guys. I kind of just had to pour my heart out a little bit this week, just because it really gets into my core sometimes with the approaches that we take to a lot of these things, and the mindset that we all have is to get away from smoking, but sometimes we shove all the other stuff under the rug and we say, no, that doesn't work. It does for some people. 9.9% in that study successfully used other NRTs. That's still a huge number of people. I know, I get it. In the study, it was 4 out of 44. Logan, 4 people. Okay, but when you expand that number across all smokers, 9.9% is a lot of people. A lot of fucking people. Now, 18% is even more. Yes, 100%. It's way more. It's 2 times more. Or right about, approximately 2 times more. But I want everybody to keep in mind that the end goal is getting away from tobacco. And if you know somebody who is successfully doing that with a product that isn't a vapor product, please still encourage them. Maybe offer them to try vaping instead. If they're kind of still on the fence, encourage them to use other products out there. But please don't just simply go out and bash the other means of smoking cessation, because we're all on the same side. We're not on the same side as big tobacco and big pharma, but we're all on the same side in the sense that we want people to stop smoking, right? I think that's fair enough. If you want to check the show out on Instagram, it's instagram.com/Rise and Vape Show. Again, please guys go out and join CASAA. They're really fighting the good fight. It's free. It's easy. All you need is an email. You can get all the up-to-date news on legislation in your area and get out there and have your voice be heard. Be present. Show that you are proof that vaping works. And, yeah. For all of us out there that vaping has done wonders for, and for everybody in the future that vaping will do wonders for, let's keep on vaping. Yeah, I think